Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
Hello! Is Janie there?
Hello, is Jane there?
For anyone that doesn't know that reference, it's from The Sweetest Thing, and it's when Selma Blair is in the men's clothing store. Welcome to the Calm Down podcast. Erin, Charissa, for the new listeners here, everyone needs to calm down, including my hair extensions. Anyways, Selma Blair's working in a men's clothing store. This guy that she's hooking up with comes in like a full-on elephant suit or whatever, and Cameron Diaz and Christina Applegate are the other two characters in that movie, and they call her and like harass her at work. It's so funny. If any of you guys haven't seen, especially the younger generation, because we're older, you guys need to watch that movie with your girlfriends. There's so many great lines in it, and Cameron Diaz and Christina, and Selma, they all look amazing.
So I went to the mall a couple weeks ago, and I texted you on our big friend group text chain. We were at Apple. I needed a new case. And we were standing there, and while we were standing there, I heard a laugh right behind me. And I was like, and so I wanted to be cool, friend of the show. We hope, we wish. I turned around, and Cameron Diaz was standing right behind me. But what I noticed was she was in a full mask, but I could see her eyes, and she had a hat on. But Benji, she was with her husband, didn't have a mask on. And Jarrett was actually facing where they were. And I was like trying to like make eyes with Jarrett, but Benji could see me. And Jarrett was just not following what I was, putting down. Like, pick it up what I'm putting down. And I was like, oh my God. Anyways, I'm making eye things. It was her, and I was so excited. And I texted you immediately, and I was freaking out. And then I texted my sister, and my sister's like, well, did you say anything? You had her on the podcast. I'm like, no. It's not the time. Like, she's got a mask on. She's not interested. She's low key. But she's judging RuPaul's show. And I kind of just feel like she's getting back out there.
I hope she gets back out everywhere, because she didn't necessarily say she was retiring from doing movies, did she? Or did I miss that announcement? Either way, I mean, she was grossing $20 million a film one point. I'm like, I would have been like, I'll take any and all films, but neither here nor there. So she stepped away. She, started her family. She got married, all things, and all of her other entrepreneurial things, including her wine, which we had her on to talk about, which is amazing. But I think back, she was her and Julia Roberts were my favorite, which they were in My Best Friend's Wedding together.
Yes.
And the other day I was watching Pretty Woman with a friend, and he's like, Julia Roberts is Erin. And I was like, totally, like the, $1 million smile, the whole thing. And he's like, who do you get? And I was like, people say Cameron Diaz only because of that role in Bad Teacher, where you're you're
that's
Cameron
not the only
Diaz.
reason why.
Well, it's more of like, that's like more aligned with my personality.
Holiday
if I was a teacher.
With the wine.
The wine. When everyone knows when she's at the grocery store, like, must be having a party. I just love her, and she will always be my, and when Instagram where it like scrolls back and it has like photos in time, 90s Cameron Diaz with the Doc Martens and the long hair and like no makeup. She's fabulous, and I would have lost my mind, and I would have. Yeah. Okay.
Can you imagine
everybody.
if we ever saw Julia Roberts in person?
No,
Never seen her. I would die. That's my Larry Bird, Michael Jordan. I would die.
Completely. And Mario used to always get her when for extra. Like, I never got her on a red carpet. I never got to do a junket with her because Mario had dibs on Julia Roberts every single time. But she is a dream. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are familiar with the pregame, it's a 10-minute little episode we do at the beginning of the week to kind of give you a tease of what we will be talking about in its entirety on our full hour-long podcast, or 30 minutes. What are we? I don't know. Time is not important here. What is important is Erin told a little story on the pregame. If you're hearing it again, it's worth it. Everybody needs to know what's going on with this story. We went to Vegas this weekend. Fox is incredible and takes us on this little retreat for the pregame shows and some of our announced crews. So we had so much fun. We haven't been able to do it the last couple of years because of COVID. So it's Jimmy, it's Terry, it's Stray, it's Kevin Burkhart, a whole group of us go. And it's so much fun. We went to Topgolf, we gamble, and we just go to amazing dinners, and it's so much fun. But Erin is a self-proclaimed picker in the magnifying mirrors in hotels. So she told the story when you got back home about finding stuff that you thought I would have seen and didn't tell you about. I need
Well,
to take a breath.
I
Go.
love a magnifying mirror, as you mentioned. We also need to talk about some developments at Fox because we have not had a podcast since then. I have already started writing a full list of
We haven't,
new
have we?
teammates and let's
Oh
fucking
my
go.
God.
We'll
You're
get
right.
to
Okay.
all of that.
Okay.
Guys, this is a full podcast. Anyways, buckle up. So, yeah, I literally was going to meet Charissa and our friend Joel downstairs for some drinks before we went to go shoot at Top Golf, which we'll also get to. And I instantly looked in the mirror real quick because I was like, I always this one area on my chin. Everybody has the area where a situation's going to happen. And mine usually always happens before a big game, Super Bowl, a sit down. There we go. So I was just checking to see how she was looking. And sure as shit, I saw a blackhead and I was like, ooh, let me try to get it. But the magnifying mirror was weird. It was super low. So I was like, I just
Are you
told
just
those
going
guys,
fingers or did you have a needle?
Yeah, no, our room was gross. I barely unpacked, I didn't that wasn't anything to Fox. That wasn't.
No,
it
it
was
wasn't. It was our neighbors.
Gross.
Our neighbors were doing things in their rooms, which permeated through the hallways.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
A lot of smells too. Anywho, so I saved it for when I got home. I got home and I pulled out my
restraint.
Big time magnifying mirror because I was like, I'll just put some foundation on it. We're fine. I had to apologize to you on the pregame because what I saw wasn't the blackhead on my face. Not only did I see rows and rows of stragglers that needed to be plucked. Oh, crap. Sorry, you guys.
Oh,
I'll call you
it's
back.
our esthetician.
Yes. Bye. So I wait till I get home and I pull out this heavy duty magnifying mirror that my friends got me for a birthday one time because they know I'm a psycho. And I'm sitting there and not only did I have this blackhead that I needed to perform surgery on, but I had lovely rows of stragglers across my eyebrows that everybody at Fox, including you, must have been looking at me.
No
and was
chance.
Like,
I would have told you.
Are you waiting for that appointment? And then I focus in on my nostrils. There are literally 3 of the longest hair strands that nobody missed, but everyone failed to tell me about them, including you. I mean, and these were gone with the wind long, any sort of wind. The air conditioner turned on in my house and they started to rustle. I mean, that is fucking crazy.
You're insane. First of all, do you think that I would ever let you have a nose hair or something in your teeth or any well, or go without Purell? There's nothing that I wouldn't tell you that you needed. I did not see the nose hair, but I'm going to tell you what I had is the one on the chin. And that is a hair, as anyone knows. It comes in very coarse and you feel it and then you don't realize it's there because you've plucked it, I don't know, a month before, and then you forget about it. But I've been taking my hair vitamins, so things are growing at a rapid rate, and I have lasered the majority of my body, TMI. But this chinny chin chin, not by the hair, by chinny chin chin, it came fast and furious.
Those things are so hard on your chin too. It's not like a normal hair and you can't help but sit there and just twist it all night long until you finally get it.
There's times where I think I can get it, but I'm currently working with these long acrylics. I don't know what I'm doing over here. I'm getting very Barbie.
Yeah.
The long blonde hair is back. The acrylics. It's what's going on? I don't know. As you know, I like to constantly change it up. But for the nose hair, are you a plucker?
Yeah.
Because I am a waxer. I cannot pluck nose hair. I will cry. I will get discouraged. There's no chance. So I just go straight for the waxing.
So the waxing, I feel like it would be an amazing feeling to have. I don't know. I just feel like that would be incredible to have that warm wax up your nostrils. I wouldn't be too keen on the pulling out, but I am such a sniffer / nose runner that I don't think I could go through that because it would just be nonstop pouring. Jarrett wasn't home and I think he had the nose hair trimmer because mine's broken and I failed to buy myself a new one. Although I do need to look in a big bag that we put together from Montana at Christmas because my mom is always really good about that as a stocking stuffer. She usually does little trimmers and things. Thanks, Mom. But so I was so disgusted with myself. I grabbed the tweezers and it wasn't a situation where I had to pull my nostril back. I didn't have to. The thing was basically tickling my lip. It was so long. It was disgusting with a capital D. All caps. Okay. All caps in bold. Disgusting. The fact that Strahan, Terry, and Terry Bradshaw's a close talker. I mean, the fact he didn't look at me and go, you got them nose hairs growing out for a reason?
By the way,
Jimmy...
He would have said that because I'm going to tell you why. When I had my mouth situation happen and the paralyzation due to the stress in my life going on, after it got better, I said to Terry, I go, yeah, and I've just been under so much stress. And I had my mouth was like kind of paralyzed and I couldn't like talk. And this was during the season. He goes, I know. Us and the guys were talking. We just thought you got your lips done. I go, Terry, what? What got my lips done? No, I was like, the side of my mouth didn't work. And he goes, I know, we didn't want to say anything, but we were talking about it. And we said, did she get her lips done? That's my Terry.
This is what I'm talking about.
Right. So he would have told you if he saw it.
They're in the streets. No, he didn't tell you. So they're in the streets now in Oklahoma and in wherever Jimmy lives. They're in the streets talking about it. My nose hairs. They are.
Not true.
And next year at our little getaway, I'm going to bring it up. Hell, I'll put us all on a text chain now. But that's the one. There's many things about our crew. And you know what? I've always appreciated working at Fox. I really have. But I think are one of our biggest takeaways. There's many takeaways from this week, but
okay, we can't say what that is.
I'm not. We can't say what it is.
The specifics. I'm just telling you, my new teammate,
your new teammate. Yes,
has it been announced?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Whoa. What do we got here? So, all of our new teammates at Fox, but he's going to be on the kickoff show with me on Sunday mornings, which I'm so excited about, is Sean frickin' Payton. This guy, and look, I only worked a couple games when I used to do sidelines for him, so I kind of got a glimpse, but being close with Cam Jordan and Mark Ingram, they always talk about how great Sean is. You know way more, and you've always advocated for this guy being such a dream. Spending 48 hours in Las Vegas with Sean Payton literally has changed my life in the best possible way. He sent me a text yesterday.
May have met your person. You may have met the male version of you.
Completely. And his wife is wonderful and I love him, or I love her, but like
totally.
This has nothing to do with like my person romantically, obviously.
Yeah. No.
I'm clarifying.
It's the male version of you.
The male, right. It was like looking in a mirror, but he is a man. I'm like, my God. Everything he said, I was like, He's crazy. He's crazy in the best way. I cannot.
In the best way.
Anyways, he did an animal sound and he said, rawr. And now. Okay. So again, this goes back to like, it's always annoying when people are like, oh, well, we're not in on the joke, so we don't get it. It's not a joke. It's just Sean Payton's freaking hysterical.
It's a story.
And he was in Las Vegas with us this weekend.
Awesome to talk football with. And there were moments that he would right away, like out of nowhere, you're just talking about, I have a chin hair, my nose hairs are long. He dives into some story in football and I'm like on the ground being like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
These are things that happen at our work trips that are so incredible. Yes, the, drinking, the Top Golf, me hitting the computer, the ball goes the wrong way, Charissa having an amazing swing, like Stray laughing, that's all fun. But when these guys like instantly like kind of let us into the locker room or on the field. I mean, I'm like jelly leg over here. I'm like, oh my God, this is so incredible.
I mean, think about, you and I always wanted to be sports broadcasters, but think about your dream job and then being able to be around the people that have, been calling plays in these war rooms, draft rooms with certain players. It's like pulling the curtain back on anything and everything you've ever wanted to know about what happens behind the scenes. And it's just, I love all of it. So that was so much fun.
I thought what was cool was we had a great first dinner. I didn't get to stay for the second night with your dinner, but the Coach Johnson stands up usually at all of our events and gives incredible speeches.
Jimmy Johnson, for those of you that don't know.
Yes, Jimmy Johnson. And this one hit home and I think really touched all of us a lot. And it was very much needed and it was incredible. And you said it perfectly. It's like he had rehearsed it for a week and it just came to him there. And the next morning, you, Sean, myself, we were having breakfast and we were talking about it. When the speech was happening, I looked over at Sean and his eyes were just like he was a player in a locker room and he really loved the moment. And so did I. And I was saying to the both of you that just really separates the phenomenal coaches from the others. Because if you think about it, the speeches coaches have to give, or the points they have to drive home, they don't know what the situation's going to be at halftime. They don't know what the situation's going to be as momentum has shifted or 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And coach stood up and he delivered a message I think all of us, I know I needed to hear. And it was like, woo, like, let's go. It was so awesome. And that was really, really special.
It was.
Yeah, it was cool.
And the conceit of the speech was just about change, right? In all capacities, and how people adjust to it. And sometimes you're reluctant to change, but we all need it. Me personally, I'm going through a lot of change. Professionally, you've had your crew change. There's so many different things, but change is inevitable. And it's not, what happens to you. It's how you react to what happens to you. So again, and Erin, you touched on it, but why Fox is so different, and why I know, and I know you do too, as evidence from your acceptance speech at the St. Jude's hospital honor that you received, the Pat Summerall Award. Fox's family, and this is not sponsored by Fox, by the way. Why we get so excited, right? We get so excited about working for this company is because we have both been through some shit, and this company is there for us personally, professionally, no questions asked. And if you are lucky enough to work in your dream job scenario, but also for a company that supports you through everything, you are so lucky. And I left there this weekend being reminded of how freaking awesome it is to have a place that, yes, pays your mortgage, but also you can pick up the phone at 2:00 in the morning and you have help no matter what. So anyways, that's our shout out to Fox, but it's just
and it's
so
a good
funny.
segue for our change of who's joining our family soon.
Who's joining our family? Oh, Tom Brady! My bad. Well, because it feels like now we've had time to process it, but for the last couple of weeks, what kind of companies? We have found out a couple weeks ago. So I want you, given that this is going to be your new teammate, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I want you to tell. I mean, I know the story because you called me, but I want you to tell everybody where you were when you found out, the whole background, everything. Again, the headline is Tom Brady will join Fox as soon as he retires from the NFL in a monster deal. And Erin will be spending every Sunday with Tom in a different capacity than you used to. So tell us how you found out, when, where, why.
Yeah. So, well, it's just Fox has been quiet, right? I mean, we all knew that they were doing something behind the scenes, but kudos to our bosses, kudos to the Murdochs for keeping this quiet. I started playing mind games with myself, with some of my coworkers. Who could it be? For the last week and a half before it was announced, I had convinced myself, and I was trying to convince you and others, it was going to be Peyton Manning. Yep. I was convinced it was Peyton Manning. I knew it was somebody big because of just some hints we were getting from our bosses. I knew the Murdochs were involved. Oh my God. And with that, Chris Myers is calling me.
I kid because I care.
Crazy. So I just knew it was somebody big. So I was all in on the Peyton Manning. I'm like, I even thought maybe Eli was coming too. So, we had a feeling it was going to be announced on, I think, a Tuesday or something. We thought it was going to be announced, but didn't know. So went to bed and I thought, all right, I'm going to hear about this in the morning because I had been told it's probably going to happen in the morning. I didn't realize it was going to happen at 5:45 our time, a.m. So I'm in bed, my phone rings. I see it is one of our bosses. I pick it up. I'm like, trying not to sound dead. I was like, hello. He's like, EA, did you hear the news? And I said, we got Peyton Manning. Now, my boss claims I said we got Drew Brees. I said we got Peyton Manning. And he said, we got Tom Brady. Let's fucking go. And I just said, what?
That's a very loud clap.
What? He's still playing. So I hung up, went to bed, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen. Go Fox.
What do you mean, listen? Holy shit.
Listen, holy shit is right. But then you start thinking about it. It's like, we don't know when this, hold on a minute. I have my my new teammate sitting here, we don't know when this is going to happen.
For those of you listening, she's holding up a Tom Brady candle.
A prayer candle. But listen, it's going to be so exciting. And it's cool to listen to our bosses and the meetings that they had with him and talk about talking football. That is one thing I've obviously been able to do and I've loved so much in my career. And what I texted Tom when I found out the news is that I always thought one of the coolest things about my job was to be able to interview you and be around you and talk football with you. And now to be able to work with you at some point will be incredible. But that guy is a different level. We don't know when it's going to happen, but he'll be awesome. I mean, what did you think about it when you heard it?
Look, going back to Jimmy's speech about change is that, you spent the last 10, 11 years of your career with Joe and Troy, and that was hard to say goodbye to your family on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you still maintain a great relationship with them, even if they move on. But you don't know who you're going to spend every week with. So if someone says to you, you get to spend every week with the greatest quarterback of all time. Hello. So when I heard, I was so excited for Fox, but I was so excited for you. Like, this is just a different level. It's like if I went from wearing Forever 21 to Chanel one year. You know what I mean? Like on set. So our budget only let me wear Forever 21, and then we got a wardrobe budget. And I got like my first not anymore. But I got
we share clothes now.
We share. But I got my first fancy outfit. And once you get a fancy outfit, you think to yourself oh my God, it just changes everything. And that's not an indictment on anything else. It's just Tom Brady being a part of Fox elevates all of us. And more importantly, it's just an awesome opportunity for history for you to be able to, just think about, we just talked about all the stories, that we hear Sean and Coach Johnson and Terry and all them tell. The stories that Tom, you've heard some of them that of course you can't share, but it's awesome. And it's, it's like Michael, it's like Michael fucking Jordan just being hey, I'm going to join TNT's crew. I'd be like, we good. Yeah. It's really cool. So
no, it's really cool. And there's an excitement, but obviously we are going to wait to see what happens with him. It definitely makes it interesting now, and he had a great point. He has said to multiple people, looking forward to it, but not on my mind right now. I need to be, and I am all in on my season, and you would expect nothing less from him. So shit, football's coming. It's May 23rd as we're recording this right now. It's almost here, man. I don't want to go to work yet, but I'm excited.
No, we're not going to go to work yet. We're about to go on a vacation, which is my next question.
Yeah. I'm not ready.
This majority of this podcast is, for the sports fans and because we haven't been able to expand upon the news of Tom Brady or rehashing our weekend with our Fox brethren. But for those girly girls or guys, maybe you care about bathing suits. I just ordered 75 different bathing suits. Now, you guys, we've talked about this before. When I go on Revolve and I know that the model, the silk dress that's hanging off the size zero model.
Her. We never mentioned that. We saw her.
That's right. Is that her now?
My bathing suit's being delivered right now.
Oh
no, unknown name. Not interested.
Oh my God.
We don't know her name, but we saw her at Stagecoach.
We did. And let me say,
she is 2 pounds.
2 pounds, which is exactly why those silk dresses look the way that they do. Okay. She was with Alessandra. Was it Alessandra Ambrosio she was with too?
Yeah.
Models just all hang out. Well, they don't hang out of their clothing. We hang out of our clothing and they don't. Anyways, so we've talked about this before, but when you order online, who knows?
Revolve in Green Bay.
I ordered 75 bathing suits. Revolving in Buffalo in these bathing suits because they look so cute on the models. I tried them on this morning.
You already got them?
It doesn't matter that I got them because I won't be wearing any of them. And then I had that
really? They were so cute too.
This isn't okay. I'm very confident in whatever. I have curves. I'm more of an athletic build. I'm proud of my body. I work out. I'm 40 years old.
Your body's gorgeous.
This isn't I hate the way I look. No, it's not that. It's just the bathing suits looked very different online. I can salvage some of them, but let's just say I immediately put on the running shoes and I kept running and running.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any tips or tricks prior to going on a vacation where you want to look all tightened up, let me know. Are we drinking water before? Are we not drinking water?
I know.
Like, what's the deal with that?
I went and got some. I went in a sauna today at my girlfriend's Body South. Is that what it's called? Yes. She's got a little spa that I went to. And they even had like a bloat tea. It's not even bloat tea. It's just like, listen, I just did my 8th round of IVF, and it's like I have had more shit in my body. And it's like, we're going with people who have had kids, and I'm like, I haven't. What's my excuse?
Me neither.
And I was like, hormones. But yeah, no, it's interesting. My problem isn't the bathing suits right now because I haven't even tackled that. Mine is like, what am I wearing to dinner? Because I don't even like what I have for that. So that's my whole thing I'm having an issue with. I actually went to a store yesterday. I drove out there, which I hate doing. And
I know where you went.
God, they put me in the smallest freaking dressing room, which pissed me off anyways. And so I feel like I'm in a condo in New York, and I'm like trying shit on. I don't feel good about myself anyways. And the guy couldn't have been sweeter. His customer service was amazing. And he's like, can I help you? Can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, you got an M-Sculpt machine back there that we can like tie back some of this shit on my stomach before you give me a cutout dress?
No, but let's talk about dressing rooms for a second. Some of them get real tricky. Now, some of them are very smart.
The light's terrible.
Okay.
The light is terrible.
Why? I will never understand.
Give me a filter in there.
Thank you. I will never understand why dressing rooms have fluorescent lighting. Let's dim that down. Let's go ahead and angle the mirror. Don't let me know that it's too angled, because then I'm like, oh, this isn't telling the whole story. But angle that mirror a little bit, dim the lighting, and call it a day. It's like a great first date. I just need you to sell me the item. Do not put me in a position to not want to buy this. If I ever open up a clothing store, which I'm not going to because that sounds awful, having worked at Nordstrom, and now I'm that person that working in retail, those assholes that leave all the shit on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, I get it if you don't want to put them all back on the hanger. That's fine. As a sales
those people out.
As a sales associate, I understand that that's, you are the customer, but can we not just leave it on the floor? Anyways, I digress.
I agree.
Put it on the little bench. I'll take care of it. But yeah, the lighting in the dressing rooms, and then the mirror, the angle thing, whatever. Anyways, please DM us if you have any tips and tricks for, let's say, maybe before you got married or before like a big event in your life. What did you do to get slim and trim in, let's say, T-3 days? I would love any and all advice. Okay?
This is how much time we have.
Yeah.
I am going to go get a spray tan. I'm going to do that. So I do know that'll help me. I also think, and it's very, very true, but I do think that we need to kind of do what our friend says and disconnect and just have a great time. Like the people involved in this trip definitely need to. I got to tell you, this beauty upstairs, it sounds like King Kong, is already online and going through the restaurants and the menus.
Angel.
I mean, this guy.
You guys are the opposite of me. I don't even know where we're going. I just show up and I'm happy to be there. But at least there's planners in my life like you guys and the rest of our group that's going. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 79 of the Calm Down Podcast. I know that we've had so many episodes. I don't even know what number it is anymore. But we appreciate you listening. Please DM us any and all questions. For the majority of you guys, we'll answer those on pre-games almost every week when we have that. If not, we will get to them, and then let us know what else you want us to talk about, because we are here for y'all. Erin, I love you.
Hey, y'all. Love you.
We'll talk. We'll see you guys. Yeah. Happy Memorial Day. Be safe. Bye.
Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.